again saw that significant increase, 124% increase in cyber tips that came to us through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That is taking the vast majority of our resources, both here in Bedford and across the task force, across the Commonwealth, with all our affiliate agencies. But we've also grown the task force capacity, adding many more agencies and increasing boots on the ground, trying to tackle the problem. So in 2024, we received 10,648 cyber tips. Last year in 2025, we hit 23,862. We had almost 6,000 in December alone. That came to Bedford County through the task force, and then we have to triage those and send them out to affiliate agencies across the task force area, from Lee County to ACMAC up to Green. So the vast majority of these go across the state. They don't all resolve here in the Bedford County. Those that do resolve to Bedford County get assigned to our Bedford County investigators, and they'll work those. They also will work quite a few cyber tips. If we are not able to directly refer it to an agency based on the information that's held in it, we have to do extra investigative work, do a search warrant for records. They'll work that and refer those out. A lot of the cyber tips that we get end up being self-producing victims. They're children or juveniles that make images or pictures of themselves and send them out, maybe to other kids, maybe their peers. Necessarily something that will result in an arrest, but we still have to investigate, make sure there isn't an adult involved somewhere in there, and also then get their information and images and send them to NCMEC as an identified victim. So if they start showing up in other investigations in the Commonwealth or across the United States or even the world, then we know that they're an identified victim, and we can sort of track where their content is being shared and distributed. We had 69 arrests that resulted from cases that started here in Bedford County. Some were Bedford County arrests, others were cases that went to other jurisdictions after they were started. And those agencies made the arrests, but because of the work that our investigators actively worked here, resulted in 69 of those 300 plus arrests. We finally are fully staffed, both in our forensics and criminal investigations unit in 25, and we're starting to get our people trained up, our new investigators, but we saw a 195% increase in cases worked here in Bedford County over 2024. So we went from 98 cases worked in 2024 to 290 in 2025, and we expect that to grow even more in 26. As a task force, we're able to identify 224 child victims, get them resources, start getting into counseling. 24 of those were rescued from ongoing abuse. We executed over 3,588 subpoenas or court orders. About 2,000 search warrants were executed. For the task force, we examined over 2,500 individual pieces of evidence, totaling up about 774 terabytes worth of data. And just to give you an idea, a 4 terabyte hard drive, which is not uncommon in computers now, could have upwards of 10 million images that our investigators then have to go through and sort and categorize and find the child pornography to see if there's any local victims that we can identify. We assisted different agencies on the task force, a total of 809 times with their investigations, and then we trained just under 400 law enforcement, prosecutors, and other support personnel like CAC interviewers to help support the ICAC program in working these type of investigations. Emerging threats that we're dealing with is generative AI. That is a huge problem. It is so easy now, it's everywhere, to create new content. This is just an example of an image that was generated through a text prompt. That the female on the left does not exist, is not a real person. It was wholly created through that text prompt into an AI generator. Then they used additional text prompts they get rewards for going through different levels in their groups by committing different acts. And some of the groups, the ultimate goal is to get their victims to commit suicide on live cams. And worked several cases here in the Virginia area, some that have also spanned other states. Unfortunately, the offenders in these groups are one offender in Roanoke that was manipulating a 13-year-old female in Florida to self-harm by cutting herself. And when we identified the offender, he was an 11-year-old boy. How these groups target their victims and recruit new members is through games like Roblox or on Discord.